Hello, 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 everybody. I am your androgynous AI game show host from the future, Caster. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening. Happy Friday. You've made it through another week. Congratulations to everyone. Hi, Serona. Hello. How you doing? We are here for yet another match of Netrunner Identity Digital, the VTuber tournament being organized by the Satyr of Strategy Loxley. And my opponent this week is the one and only Navi the Browser. Say hello, Navi.
Hi.
There we go. Done. Stream's over now. Everybody can go home.
Okay.
How about you go and tell everybody out there who you are, what you do?
Okay, yeah, I'm Navi the Browser, obsolete internet browser VTuber. I will be returning to streaming next year and planning on doing pixel games, TCGs, and probably old school Final Fantasy games, as I love them. Maybe even fighting games, because
you play a lot of BlazBlue at the moment. That's
right. My partner Robin got me back into it, and I forgot how much I like that game. I also forgot how bad I am at that game, but I'm getting better slowly. My gameplay was described on a stream by one of their viewers as "this S gameplay hurts my soul." So,
okay,
that's the skill level I'm at.
Okay, I mean that could have been you were doing all the really like cheese strats that wind people up who don't know how to beat it, or you were playing badly. Who knows? Maybe that person was just rude.
Yes, I think they were.
But considering how I know you, even before this tournament, is with Netrunner in particular, which is actually, to be honest, quite a intense and mathsy competitive game. Even played casually, this game is quite competitive. So it doesn't surprise me that you've also gotten into fighting games. I think there is a very similar energy there that would appeal to you.
Yeah, like knowing when you're minus, when you've got frame advantage and stuff. It is just math, isn't it?
I've never had a head for mental maths, and I think that has definitely restricted my progress in Netrunner even before this tournament, but that's fine. We won't dwell on it. So what got you into playing Netrunner specifically?
Well, I've just really liked TCGs. I first got into trading card games when I was 12, back in 1999. Because I really liked the Pokemon anime and just saw a booster pack in a game shop, which was called like the Entertainer. No, it wasn't the Entertainer because that didn't exist back then, but something of that like I think it was called Millennium Bug.
Oh, yeah.
And I just saw like a booster box of base set 1, and I just like used my pocket money then to buy 2 boosters, because that came to about £5. I was like, oh yeah, Pokemon. Oh, cards. And then I never really played the game, more just collected them because, oh, look, shinies and stuff. And then some of my friends in high school started getting into Magic, because one of them went to visit their parents in Canada and came back with like some Magic decks. So I got into that, got the starter set, which had a VHS that taught you the game, and I have found a YouTube video of that VHS because I wasn't sure if it was a fever dream or not, because it is the most 90s instructional video ever.
There was a CD-ROM that also taught you how to go and play the Pokemon trading card game with some of the most terrifying fucking CG known to man.
This doesn't have CG. This just has like somebody practically like implying just forcing 2 people to play Magic against their will, like teaching them the game, whilst they're strapped in these, I suppose they're supposed to be electric chairs or something, with like a mad scientist on a switch, like where they're taking too long, turns on the Thinkinator. But then you're like, hang on, are those Game Boy Colors they've strapped to the side of that chair?
I mean, that's delightfully campy. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Can I copy image address? Would this work reasonably? Yeah, okay, it would. So I'm gonna paste in chat and to you, Navi, the CD-ROM that I remember, and the character art of the person that you're playing against on the left-hand side.
This is playing Pokemon, okay.
Yeah. In terms of that kind of like
Yeah, Magic, but
no, sorry, because you mentioned you started with Pokemon.
I see. Yes.
But yes, no, I can see for like with Magic the Gathering back then not being particularly anime, the state of the game has very much changed aesthetically for that reason. Although I'm not entirely against it. Definitely wouldn't have a terrifying CG anime woman as part of the VHS. That definitely stands true. Also, what you were saying about how for early Pokemon at school and people just collecting the cards and not playing the game. My school was also definitely like that. We didn't get it hardcore enough. It wasn't hardcore enough at our school to get it banned like a lot of schools did.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was definitely a lot of that. But I got the Game Boy Color trading card game where
I had that on emulator. It was really fun.
It's so good. Very good game.
I didn't know how to play the game, and I used to play it with my sister occasionally. And the way we played it was, we would just build decks of practically random cards because, like, I was 13 at the time.
Yeah, who knows what deck building is?
What deck building is? But yeah, so I got into Magic, and really enjoyed that. Started going to like the local game store, made friends. Mm-hmm. Played it on and off, either in paper or Magic the Gathering online, as in the official one.
Ooh, wow.
Until about Shadowmoor, when I just stopped because it was getting too expensive because it released like Mythics and like I was already practically running my bank account into the zeros anyway in travel and tournament fees, and I didn't really have an income back then anyway. So, but yeah, it's when I moved here and I was like, oh, I do miss trading cards. And a friend I had at the university game stock was just all like, oh, do you want to learn how to play Netrunner? I've just picked it up. As like when it came out, and I'm like, isn't that like a really old game? Because I remember like Inquest,
the 90s one, yeah,
magazine used to always like show cards of usually world domination, like poke fun at the game, but. Like, yeah, I played a couple of games of it at the board game convention, which was like a weekend long thing where the society just hide out a lot of rooms in the university and, hey, play games. And I think the next day I went down to our local game store and just bought the core set.
Yeah, okay. I mean, interesting that you were already kind of playing at a competitive level, traveling for game events rather than playing at your friendly local game store prior to Netrunner, because I guess that kind of approach and attitude lends itself quite well to Netrunner, I suppose, because especially in its current form is very, very much supported by a traveling based tournament scene rather than local play.
Yeah. And whilst like having be playing so Netrunner's what, 10 years old, so I guess I was playing Magic for about 13 years when I started playing Netrunner. Having that background in card games certainly did help with like understanding value curve and stuff does, but Netrunner isn't a dude basher, so it's an entirely different kettle of fish. Like I remember my first deck with the core set, I was like, oh, I don't need Armitage code busting because I can just click for credits, not realizing that click compression was a thing.
Yeah,
which I quickly learned. Also, I realize I've gone past this a bit in the conversation, but you mentioned about Pokemon getting banned in school.
Oh yeah.
One claim to fame that I have is I got Magic banned in my school because well, all right, so we had like a careers room that everyone used to just hang out at in like break time and lunchtime because it had tables in and like because it was essentially like several meeting rooms that were always open because you're supposed to go in, read the books on like, hey, what are you going to do after school, get into careers, but people just used to use it as like a DOS room basically. And are you aware of what Young Enterprise is, the sort of where you make a company in school?
Oh sure, yeah.
Well, yeah, I joined that and a meeting was going on, but I'd gone into the careers room because I'd forgot about this meeting to meet some friends to play Magic the Gathering. And the careers like officer or whatever his title was, I forget, wasn't too pleased with me sat in the next meeting room playing a card game whilst a meeting I should have been attending was going on in the next room. So at the end of lunchtime, he just comes up to our table and says, like, none of you are allowed to bring these in ever again.
It's distracting you from your studies, Navi.
Distracting me from going to a meeting where I would... I don't know, like, no one... I can't remember what my role was in that company, but honestly, I was surplus to requirements in those meetings half the time.
It's kind of funny. The space, or like headspace that board games and tabletop games have for educators now is so different from like when you or I was in high school. I think it's now really heavily encouraged for there to be board gaming or card gaming clubs, Dungeons and Dragons in particular, because you know the most well-known tabletop RPG on Earth. So of course they'd organize that. But the kind of like, you know, even playing just Pokemon, the basic math skills required to play that game properly, surprisingly high. So, you know, getting young minds interested in card games at early stages is great. Sorry, go ahead.
I think in like drama class where we had an exercise where you had to tell like your partner in your group a fact that about yourself, and then did have to present that fact when talking, like, you know, the wishy-washy exercises you get to fill time because the teacher's come in hungover. And mine was that I really liked Pokemon. And when my partner told that, the teacher just looked at me, shook her head and went like, "You sad person." The side effect of nerd culture becoming just culture probably means that happens a lot less. But Serena says there's an American teacher who tests his students using a huge RPG system where they go out and do quests. Well, I mean, yeah, there are so many kind of like motivational tools and apps and similar that kind of use the kind of like a video game RPG style thing to kind of get you to play or engage in a task you might not want to do otherwise regularly. So I definitely see that. Yeah, I used to use one. I can't remember what it's called, but like, yeah, you'd set your quest for the next day, like do the dishes, vacuum the living room, whatever, and then you tick off when you do them, and it would give you experience and rewards. I mean, it was all like superficial and superfluous, but
hey, dopamine hits are dopamine hits.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just that sense of achievement. The same reason why grinding out levels on World of Warcraft feels good, because like you feel like yay.
I'm notoriously my brain doesn't work that way, as it happens, which has been a shame, because, you know, I would love to have a video game get me to does this mean that Navi will do the dishes after this stream? Well, it depends on how the matches will go. I think if I'm not I would say I'm not a gambling AI, but being a game show host, that's kind of generally the deal. But I think if there were bookies on this match, the odds on me winning, not great, considering your previous involvement and establishment with Netrunner as a hobby.
I thought you were going to say the odds of me doing the dishes after the match.
But I would say with the odds of me winning being so low, if this goes the way and I sweep these two matches, you might be feeling some type of way where the only thing you can do to distract yourself is finally do the dishes. But on that note, shall we go set up a gosh darn card game? What side would you like to play first? I don't care about coin flips. I was going to ask
you the same question. I'll play runner first. Yeah.
Sure. In that case, I will be cool. And we are, because the new cards aren't available yet, we are still playing startup and not like casual. And I have to, not set a password on this, I guess. So we're going to go in create. Make sure that you get in. Marvelous. Right, we're going to have to do a handful of different things, part of which is making sure that this gets picked up properly. So we're going to go... Okay, that's working. Then we're going to go over to game footage. Okay, I don't have a background, apparently. I did have a wallpaper before, and now I don't. That's fine.
Oh, no.
It's not a huge deal. Maybe they just removed it. But also, let's go put some beats on, because nobody likes to get their cheeks clapped in silence.
What a way of phrasing that.
Right. Okay. I think we've got jams, we've got cards. Man, it's having a hard time loading for me. I don't see all of my cards. That's fun. But I have the titles in the corner. Yeah, pictures aren't loading correctly. Maybe this is a settings thing. Give me a second. Let me.
Does that occasionally if it's lagging out as well? But...
Hey, sorting this now is better than having to go sort it later.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go hide that for a second. So the offset is so there's room for the larger info card, Serona. It'll look reasonable when we get into it. Don't worry. But let me go poke at these settings. We're going to turn off enable high resolution card images and see if that makes that work correctly. To play. Right, that seems to work now. Okay.
Okay, it might just be the high res files aren't working.
Now, do I actually want this hand is the important question. No. Oh, as we play, I will be trying to talk through my turns as we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a much better.
Same.
This is
like,
a much better hand. Okay.
So that hand I had was one where if I mulliganed into it, I wouldn't like be upset.
But as you're starting one, you're like, ugh, gross.
It's all like, it's very mid tier. Like it's workable, but the deck can do so much better.
I feel you. Anyway, we're going to start the turn, and because I am Corp, I draw a card at the start of my turn. That's fun. We're going to open on a hedge fund to gain some money. Then we are gonna... go and install a piece of ice over my R&D. And install an ice to set up a new remote server.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
Do 9 credits. Cool. We'll draw a card on 1.
Of course.
We will...
Oh, let's look at your ID, actually, because I've not played against this ID while you're making the choices.
So I identify a mark every turn, which is I nominate a central server at random, and the first time I successfully run that server each turn, I gain a click.
Which means that you can run on archives to gain a click. Yeah.
Let's... Bravado R&D.
Ooh, Bravado. Run a server protected by ice. When that run ends, gain 6, plus 1 money for each piece of ice you passed during that turn. That's fun. You know what? Sure, we're going to pay 5 to res Mesnichivesto, or whatever.
Yeah, that can fire.
Okay, we're going to fire those unbroken subroutines.
Then we will laundry archives. Which gets me a click back.
Absolutely. And money.
Yep. Then we will... we'll draw a card. And then we'll play a Earthrise Hotel.
Ooh, the artwork is different.
Yeah, it's the
old school artwork.
Yeah, it's the a promo that got made in the ONR original Netrunner style for Gaming versus Cancer in 2019.
Ah, that's cute. That's cute. I wouldn't mind owning some of the original cards just for the novelty of it, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, original Netrunner was wild with some of the effects it had. You know, like everyone thinks of the card I've got a rock, which was action, remove 2 tags, deal 13 damage.
Oh, jeez. We're going to go and install a card into server 1.
Yeah.
And then pay 1 to flip it. It's a daily quest. We're going to go and draw a card. And we're going to draw another card. And then I end my turn.
So we identify our cards as mark, and we get 2 cards of first rise. Wow, thank you, ADHD, for getting what I was saying mid-sentence.
You're right.
That happens a lot, so if I ever just stop talking mid-sentence, just
prompt
something.
You, sure.
Yeah.
No worries, no worries.
We will run at server 1 after playing Sure Gamble.
Sure Gambling, that's perfectly fine. We're gonna... Sure. We're gonna pay 4 money in Res FTP.
Okay. We will pay 2 to break add a card to the run's grip. And then we'll break the tag this way as well.
Alright, we continue to movement.
Yeah.
I have no further actions.
We will trash that.
Okay.
Draw card. Carpe Diem, and I may as well run an archives because it gives me the click back.
Sure. Ooh. Consistent money gain.
Yeah, and then just gain a credit.
Okay. I will start my turn and draw a card.
Daily Quests is, I mean, it's a very good card, but it has a issue I have with a lot of the early Nisei, no signal cards, in that it feels like it has 2 lines of text too many. Like, it is just word soup.
On that Yu-Gi-Oh tip of card writing, for sure.
I tried playing Master Duel and just got overwhelmed by the amount of text on all the cards.
Funnily enough, I've kind of managed to like grok enough Yu-Gi-Oh where I can play it now, but every time I see an archetype I've not seen before, then I'm like, okay, I have to learn what this archetype does. But to just play it and build a deck and play it, I can actually do now, which I'm kind of proud of, actually. That game is a bit obtuse now. Getting back into it back in the day probably would have been fine, but I think there's a bit of a barrier to entry in that regard. Let's see.
I used to play it back like around the time that Exceed Summons first came out. But now with like pendulums and links and just cards just seem to get more and more text every time.
Links aren't too bad. I still don't really get pendulums. Anyway, I'm going to use predictive planogram to gain 3 money. And then I have to like think about the fuck I'm doing. And draw a card. And then I am going to install an ice in archives.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
Okay, my mark is HQ. Let's draw a card on 1. Draw a card on 2. Run HQ because it's free.
Sure. No further actions.
Okay, we will steal that.
Lucky.
Yeah.
I was intentionally filling my hand to lower the odds of that, but so it goes. You have 2 clicks left.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking, trying to math things out. Yeah, we'll bravado at archives.
Okay. So making a run when the run ends. So you still gain 6 even if the run fails.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
The card is really good.
I'm gonna res pop-up window.
Okay. I mean, well, I'd pay 1 to gain 1 extra, so yeah, I'll just let it end the run.
Okay. Fire on broken subroutines.
And then last, I think we gain a credit.
Okay.
Drop this, and this. Yeah.
Checking what you threw away.
It was Cat's Cradle, Sesva.
Oh, decided against, I guess you don't need that code gate breaker on hand. Maybe you have more than one. Let's start the turn. I see.
And Career Fair, the first card of the Earthrise Hotel drew me. Not like, okay, yeah.
We are going to go and install some ice over HQ.
Yep.
We're going to gain 2 credits and end my turn.
All right. Will you get the last off Earthrise and mark HQ? Straw card. Draw card.
Oh, just digging.
Yeah. Let's play cats. Let's play Sesva. Drop this and drop a penny shaver and a deep dive.
All right, we're gonna start that turn and draw a card. We're gonna draw a card for our first click. We are going to go and install in server 1. And then draw a card. Yours. We're gonna go and throw away this.
So we would draw a card. Draw a card. Play penny shaver.
Whenever you make a successful run, place some money on it and use a click to take all that money back off. And it's not even once per turn, so you can make all sorts of runs per turn and gain some back.
Then I think we're just going to gain credit for the last and drop this.
Okay.
Jailbreak.
We're going to start turn and draw a card. I'm going to get a credit. we're gonna install a card in server 1.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna gain a credit. Enter.
Okay. So HQ is my mark. Let's draw a card.
Mm-hmm.
Inside job server 1.
Ooh. Run any server. The first time you encounter a piece of ice, bypass it. Okay. We continue to encounter that ice.
Yep.
We have no further actions.
See what this is. Of course it is. Okay, and then Sansan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run archives.
Okay. Continue to encounter that ice.
Break pop-up window with that.
Okay. Cool. We're going to continue to movement, and you get into the archives for a click. Or... Wait, where does it visually let me know where you put your mark?
Yeah, it's written.
Oh, right. It says in the chat. It'd be nice if there was a visual indicator, but yes.
Oh, there is. It should say HQ on at the top of my ID.
Ah, I see it. Okay. I was expecting kind of like a little like highlight or icon on the server at the bottom, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You have 1 click remaining.
Yep. Just get the money off Penny Shaver.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We are going to res Sansan City Grid for 6. I will spend 1 click to advance Bologna once. Every time I see someone play Navi, I try to take mental notes on her strats and how she plays, but every single time I never had a clue what's going on. I mean, it's all vibes, really. It's all vibes. We are gonna go and start a new remote.
Yeah.
And gain a credit and turn.
Okay. Master time again.
Ah, and your mark is R&D this turn.
Yeah. Let's draw a card.
Okay. Now I wonder. It did cross my mind this week to actually go and give your deck a read to just kind of generally remind myself what your deck does. I did not actually do that, unfortunately. Although I get a pretty solid gist. It's been a while since I've done a criminal played against criminal and being like, oh yeah, you can just kind of skip whatever. We've got a jailbreak on. Run HQ R&D. If successful, draw one card. When you breach the attacked server, access one additional card. Well. You get to continue to movement.
Cool.
No further actions.
Sure, that can stay.
Yeah.
Last click this, and then run server 1.
Okay. Looks like this is going to be GG. Continue to encounter ice.
Yeah, let that happen.
I will fire unbroken subroutines, which means that I get to bounce a card. It can be that. It doesn't really matter. Continue to movement, and you have 5 money on you.
Yeah.
No further actions. Okay, there we go. That's game 1.
That Valorna snipe was lucky. I was trying to...
I drew all 3 in succession.
Yeah,
I had nowhere to put them.
So the math I was trying to do is, because I've seen you kill people with punitive, I was trying to
keep your hand size huge, so regardless of what you stole.
Just let me do that. I had this in hand, so I was trying to work out if I could get Valorna.
A class act. When the turn which you installed this resource ends, draw 4 cards. Ah, right. Yeah, no, that would be solid punitive counter-strike protection. Okay, let's go on to the next game. Let me go and make a new one real quick, and this gets to vanish into the ether. Goodbye. Right.
But yeah, you were right. When I discarded the cat's cradle, it's because I'd drawn both of them. And it's like, there's no point keeping both in hand.
Hey, you don't need it. We're going to create that room. There we go.
Oh no, yeah, I am corping.
Okay, with your deck selected, we resume with game 2.
So I'm now playing GameNet.
Yes, a better game net than the one that I have, but at least I largely know what it will be trying to do. Hey, can I see my cards, please? That'd be nice. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll keep this.
You know what? F it. Sure.
So let's go hedge fund. Subliminal.
Oh, yeah. Old school art for subliminal messaging too.
I'm not a fan of the new art, but
fair. Very fair.
And then res this behind ice.
Cool. Love this opening play. Start turn.
I've done this opening play when the card first came out and got apocalypsed for it. So
hey, this is how Serona is watching and listening to how you play, because the two times I was playing against Serona, this was basically her turn 1 both times when she was playing Corp. So yeah, seen this run before. Anyway, I'm gonna daily casts.
Yep.
Then gain a credit. Then daily casts again. And creative.
Strong.
Then creative commission. Do I have the money? I don't.
No, you don't have credits for it.
It's fine. I'm gonna then draw a card. End turn.
Sublime comes back to my hand because you didn't make a roll.
Yeah.
So we'll play that. We'll then draw a card. Draw a card and install on R&D. Your turn.
I just want to point out she didn't teach you that open, just kind of figured it out. Of course, I'm not necessarily saying that your hands were guided to do a standard opening play. I'm just saying I can tell that you're paying attention. Anyway. Let's see here.
I mean, the opening of double casts is very strong as well.
Do I continue to do stupid shit? Sure. Creative commission.
Yeah.
Draw a card. This is very funny. Creative commission and turn.
That's a lot of money.
It is.
With Sublime, then we'll draw. Then we'll install and raise Spindo. And then just
Jackson Coward.
Credit and ditch 2 cards.
No problem. We're going to start that turn. We're going to draw that card. We're going to install that card. We're going to draw a card. And then... No, it's funny. Creative commission for a 3rd time and my turn.
Oh my goodness.
The game decided to not shuffle my deck, apparently.
So Sublime again, install on HQ, install on server 1.
That looks like a scoring server to me.
Install on server 1.
Oh, your baby. For my 2nd click, I will draw again. We're going to install a professional contacts.
Yep. That's a 5-cost card and barely made a dent in your money.
Hey, you know, like basically every runner game I have played in this tournament so far has been like, why am I not finding any of my econ cards in my opening 5 turns? And so the game has been like, bet, why don't you just have all of your econ cards in your opening 5 turns and no breakers?
To be fair, that is the story of my life at times as well.
So I guess you get to do whatever you want, but for now, we're going to install a boomerang and target your R&D.
Yep.
And turn.
Seems good. Some money from cast comes in. Let's do that. Install this in server 1 and double advance.
Love to not score out that bell only. We're going to draw a card. Oh shit, I shouldn't have done it that way.
Oh, you should have put it on Paul's Cafe. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
No. I should have professional contracts it or whatever.
Oh, just undo the click and use Proco if you want.
It's fine. Now I know.
Okay.
Now that I've been like, oh wait, hold on, inefficiency. I will now know not to do it again. I'm going to use professional contracts to gain a credit and draw a card, and then I'm going to go and run on R&D.
Yeah, it's a gold farm.
Cool. However, I can trash the boomerang to break both of those.
Yep. You need to move to encounter step first.
Oh right,
but
go to encounter step. Yeah, there we go.
It's also a code gate because of your ability.
Yeah, well, but... what if I had an icebreaker? Goodness me. Let's breach that server and see what the top card is. Sure, I understand. And then that boomerang gets shuffled back because it was a successful run. Video game? Okay.
Boomerang's a really good card for that.
Yeah. So good. I'm just gonna play another one.
Yeah.
And then my turn.
Yeah, let's put this over R&D.
Mm-hmm.
Res this, give you a tag.
Oh right, yes. Mm-hmm.
Trash this.
Okay.
Get a credit. Your turn.
Alright. I will start my turn. I will pay 2 credits and click to remove that tag. Fortunately, I can afford that. I will draw a card regularly, I guess, and play another professional contacts, because why the fuck not? Give me a credit and a card. Thanks. End turn. Genuinely, what if all of my breakers are at the bottom of my deck? I'm screaming.
So I played a deck back in the day which is called Catman, and it literally ran 3 breakers, which are Atman, Parasites, and Data Suckers as support. And I remember one game, the bottom 7 cards of my deck were the 3 Atman, the 3 cards to search them out, and one like sure gamble. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I just wasn't gonna win this game. Anyway, my turn is I'm going to advance Drago twice to give you a tag. And
just trash that again.
More. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that means that was a waste of 4 credits, I guess. Oh well. Draw a card.
Is it another pro card?
Oh man, I don't want to be on this planet anymore. Let's see. I genuinely can't install resources anymore, huh?
Not while Drago's up, not really. I mean, it is costing me 4 each time to trash one, assuming you're clearing the tag.
Remove tag, draw a card.
Yep.
Okay. We're going to play test run as an event. I'm going to search my deck for a program and install. A chameleon.
Yep.
It's going to gain Code Gate. Oh.
You can undo it if you want, as it was your last.
Fine.
Click.
It's fine. I'm. My spirit has already been broken.
Oh no.
We're just gonna end the turn. Discard down to 5 cards. That can go. I have to trigger chameleon and it returns to my hand. Yours.
Yeah, I mean it's better than the top of your deck where test run would put it.
Yes, that's why that works.
Hang on.
All
Sorry,
right.
I just got a knock on the door.
Don't worry about it. In the meantime, hi chat. How's it going? Did you block that mix-up? Gosh. I mean, you know, I did not really especially fancy my odds in playing turn 3 as I mean, oh my god, there are sometimes in that runner you can just if the planets align, just immediately die turn 2 or 3 if you're in a bad position. You're right.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, 2 punitives and get popped. Absolutely. Anyway,
install this in server 1 and double advance.
Well, at least, I mean, that could be another Drago,
Such a
but it would be
very to have installed Drago with Drago.
What do I do here? I'm gonna put in a telework contract.
Yep.
Now that I'm safe to do so, I guess.
So, interesting thing about the telework contract art. I wrote the brief for it.
Ah, so involved.
Yeah, I know. It was when I was doing promo briefs. It was the one I got as a sort of to introduce me to one of the artists.
We're going to install DZMZ Optimizer and Ice Carver and end my turn.
Okay. Get Sublime back. We will advance this 3 times and score. Send a message, resing this double.
Okay. Well, I'm never getting in there. I will start my turn. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I ran into an issue with the wording on this on a particular card in this set. In a previous game was like, oh, this card's worse, but that's fine. We're gonna gain 2 credits, a card, another credit, yours.
Oh, remember you got telework, which lets you click for 3 once a turn.
Ah, sure.
If you want to do that instead of clicking for a credit.
Let me undo click, I guess. That is the command, right? Undo click.
Yeah.
Cool, and then I will do that again that way instead. There we go, end turn.
Get Sublime
Very
back.
much mixed that up with one of the drip econ cards.
It happens.
Oh.
I forgot about telework many times. This is very similar to telework, but I can use it more than once. But yeah, we'll just take. I clicked it twice, so 6.
Okay. Start turn. I'm going to start by gaining some money. Now that we're no longer just completely out of cash, I started with such good econ too. Gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to install a chameleon naming code gate. And man, let's make a run on R&D.
Yeah. No res.
Okay, continue to movement. I will approach that ice, encounter that ice, break it with boomerang.
Yep.
Continue to movement. I will breach the server. You know what? I don't care. And then shuffle that boomerang back. What do I want to do? How strong is 5? Okay.
How strong is 5?
How strong is 5? How strong is Tollbooth? Tollbooth
Okay,
is
yeah.
strength 5.
It'll be 4 when you encounter it because of
Yeah. All right, marvelous. We are going to draw a card and end my turn. That goes back to my hand. Yours.
Cool. Let's. Let's take 6 off here. And then put this on R&D. I think. Yeah, put this on R&D.
Oh. We're going to start a turn we're gonna click for 3 credits on telework contract, exhausting it. We are going to right. Yeah, okay. I see. We are going to install a chameleon. Tunes have stopped because it's assumed we are not listening. There we go. We're installing the chameleon, naming code gate. We're gonna play Into the Depths. Going to HQ.
Yeah, it's a gold farm.
Okay. We approach that ice. Strength 0, that's fun. We're going to fully break gold farmer for 2 credits.
Yeah, which drains 2 off you because of gold farmer's intrinsic.
Oh. So that costs 4 in total.
Yeah, and because I'm game net, I gain 2 when you lose 2 credits.
Right. Yeah, gold farm is really, really good for this deck. I'm so sad my deck doesn't have it. We're going to breach the server. We are gonna gain 4 money off the run.
Into the Depths.
Yep. I will do nothing there, and I have 1 click left. We're going to use that to draw a card. Sure. Enter.
Then you get chameleon back.
Yeah.
We'll draw. We will use this to draw 3 cards.
Okay. Big.
Install this in a new remote.
Okay.
And install this in circle 1. Resing the quests.
Okay. We're going to start that turn. We're going to sure gamble for some money. It's fact finding. Let's go run on that server 3 and pray it's not a snare.
So we will use Jackson to shuffle 2 cards back, and then res Jackson.
Right.
Yeah, you can access it.
That can go away.
Sorry, Spin Doctor. It's a bad habit to call.
Oh, it's
Jackson.
fine. I understood what you meant.
Okay.
So, we're then going to go run on archives just so I can see what's in there.
Yep. I think the face down was the pop-up window. With the really gaudy problem.
Yeah, no. And then we're gonna draw a card.
Okay.
Neato. We're gonna end turn and discard a. Ooh. Right. Discard an egret. Yours.
Okay. Let's install this in a new remote. Let's put a ice over that. And advance. Yeah, advance this ice.
Okay.
Discard this. Your turn.
Sure. Start turn. We're going to install a telework contract.
Yep.
We're going to install a chameleon naming code gate. We're going to Into the Depths charging server 4.
Okay. We will res a free to pay.
Yeah. We can spend 2 to break a subroutine on that ice, potentially. That's strength 5 right now. Oh, I'm under strength 4 when we encounter.
4 when you encounter it.
Yeah. Ah, I'm not quite strong enough.
Nope.
What was I using before to make that?
We're using Talute.
There is a card in here that can make it, that can install things, and when you install, the first thing you install is stronger or something. Yeah. Oh well, we encounter it at the very least. Do I just pay the 4? Do I pay the 4? Because I mean, it might be Balin, and if it is, then if I spend any money here, I won't be able to take it. But then you also can't score it next turn unless you have shenanigans.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. We are going to let the unbroken oh no, I can pay them this way. Sure. By clicking on it. Sure.
Yeah.
Did that work? Oh, right. No, I have to choose here. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. That and that.
Okay. What's into the depths?
And then I can hit done.
Okay. If successful, gain one of the following. Okay.
I continue to movement.
Yeah, I will res Spin Doctor.
And breach the server.
And we'll sack it to shuffle back in Spin Doctor and Predictive.
Okay.
But it's still successful, so you still get...
And I still gain full credits. So,
yeah.
And then I draw a card. I end my turn.
Click 1 will draw. Click 2, install and sell 1. And then we'll hedge fund.
Okay.
Discarding 2 cards.
Start turn. Let's draw a card.
Uh-huh.
We're going to sure gamble to 9. We're going to draw a card. And then we're going to click for money off telework contract and turn.
Yeah. So we get Sublime back, which we'll use. We'll gamble. No, not gamble. Hedge fund. It's the same card. And then advance this card twice.
Okay. Start turn. Draw a card. Diesel, draw 3 cards.
Such a good card.
It's very good. We're gonna boat.
Ah, there it is.
Hey, you know, I'm gonna find it goddamn somewhere, and then gain 3 money off telework contract. Ending my turn, trashing a test run and a Paul's Cafe.
Get Sublime back and score this Bellona. Dropping this card.
We start our turn. We're gonna boomerang. Boomerang that.
Yep.
We're gonna install a chameleon, naming code gate, and we do have to do this. Otherwise, you know, running on last click is a bad idea, but it's fine. We're gonna telework and then run on R and D.
Yeah. We will res a brand 1.
Cool. Strength 6. Okay. Worth it to use the endure. Wait, hold on. Still one piece of ice from HQ or archives directly inward from this ice, ignoring all costs. Yeah, no, fuck that. We're going to encounter the ice.
Yeah.
Then we're going to use endurance to break the install and ice and then end the run. And then let the unbroken routines fire and bounce.
Okay.
And then turn.
Cool. Well, in the draw card. Install in server 1. Big deal.
Yep. And then auto score it for the game.
Yeah.
There we go. 2 games done. And
that remote
in under an hour. Nice.
That remote was horrible, by the way. I'm so sorry for it because
what are the
it's
other
gonna
two?
get loud because res all the sounds go off at once.
Sure.
So
Oh, it's just 3 toll booths, I see. Okay. Yeah, no, so it goes. Thank you for those matches. Let's go and take it back to our little chat room, shall we? Yeah, no, that kind of went as expected, I think, but those were still, I didn't roll over turn 2 and die. So in that regards, I can only be proud of my gaming ability.
Yeah, the amount of money you had early on was very worrying. It's just a shame you didn't find any pressure as well.
Yeah, no, I just pulled all money and just 0 breakers at any point, and then by the time I was able to go and pull a chameleon with a tutor, not even finding it normally, you'd already iced up pretty significantly. So
your chameleon dancing was good as well, because I had punitives in hand for a while. But
yep. That is part of why this strat I quite like, even though it's not very efficient. It does. In the same way that you have that one crim card that draws you 4 cards at the end of the turn, that's my damage insurance, I guess, in a space where plascrete armor isn't a thing. But yeah, no. Thank you for the games.
Yeah, they were fun, and yeah, sorry for the Drago trashing all your stuff.
I mean, that's how you play Netrunner. The way you win Netrunner is by making the other player very upset. So I was braced for it.
It has because it has punitive as the backup win,
Mm-hmm.
and I say backup win. How many games have I played with this deck now? About 300. Oh no, not quite that many. I've played 100 with them, and yeah, I'm pretty sure over half the wins have been with punitive.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Killing Proco was just something I had to do because it's so efficient. Being able to get a card and a credit for the same click.
Hey, that's that is definitely how that goes. I think all the times where I have won as Corp, it has been the instances of using punitive Counter-Strike to close matches rather than actually scoring enough agendas to go and win matches, which is when I was playing NBN before and tag and bag was super popular, and I'm like, but that's not really what NBN is designed for. I really don't want to build a deck that does that. But hey, just killing your opponent wins games a lot faster than drawing, installing, and scoring at minimum 3 separate agendas.
Yeah. It's a reason why Supermodernism was really good back in the day. Because, they've made a run, just tag them and double scorch, and that's it.
So it goes. Well, is there anything that you would like to go and say to the party people out there before you step away and I go into a break and resume with the other game that we're playing today?
I don't know. This was really fun, and again, thank you to Loxley for organizing this. And I think you actually tagged me in the initial tweet.
Yes, no, I specifically was kind of like, oh, I actually know a VTuber who likes Netrunner. It would be silly if I didn't message her to get her involved.
Navi says sub with pride. What?
I mean, you can spend your Amazon Prime subs on this channel if you want. I have some very good emotes, but I am also on my non-influencer era. So if you want to spend money on me, that's great. You super don't have to. It's not important.
Other thing is just everything No Signal Games has done to keep the game alive. I know I complain about stuff quite a lot at the moment, like the balance of standard.
Yeah.
Like these are people whose jobs aren't designing a card game and literally just stepped up to the plate when it was cancelled, and are learning as they go. And to see the quality of cards from the stuff they made in Ashes, which were, like I said, either very verbose word soup or just far too conservative of a design, to what they're producing now, which yes, some things get through, which in my opinion shouldn't have done, like Endurance and Drago being the main two. But yeah, they're learning, and just the fact that a community of players has kept the game going 4 years after its official cancellation.
Yeah, definitely
is
impressive.
Incredible.
Definitely impressive, for sure.
And it was fun to be a part of it for a while.
What made you step away from it, if you don't mind my asking?
So at the time I'd got like my first proper full-time job I'd ever had, and doing that plus volunteering in the organized play team. So I was doing everything to do with promo. So I was writing the briefs for the promo arts, liaising with the artists, sending the finance team like, oh, this artist has done what we've asked them to do, can you pay them now? As well as templating the promos, deciding what promos are going in what kits. I was also part of the in-house art team, so I was doing art as well, and that on top of a full-time job, just it burned me out. So
no, for sure.
And whilst I loved the work I did for what was then called Nisei, the sad bottom line is I didn't get paid for it, so I had to prioritize my job that was paying me. I've officially stepped away. I still am part of the OP team more as an advisor these days. But
yeah. Still part of the community, being involved in that kind of space. Yeah.
But if you've seen the latest World promo, so there was a Hydra, which was my brief that I wrote, because they were all like, "Oh, Hydra, let's have a myth like the Greek beast Hydra on the card." I'm like, that's so tried and tested. Like, why not do something like Hydra, but it's like the spires in the Matrix with many heads to imply that it's a Hydra? And they went with it, and I think that's cool. I'm a bit disappointed the art shows like 4 heads coming off the tower when the card only has 3 subroutines.
Sure, okay.
But and then there's like they did a promo blockchain and a promo crypto crash, because they had a banner up where it was like, stand here if you don't want anyone to ever talk about NFTs to you ever. So to go along with that banner, they made like, hey, look at these cards that make fun of
crypto. Yeah.
I mean, my flavor text ended up on the promo blockchain, which is right click save as.
I still the NBN agenda from the Fantasy Flight Netrunner, Too Good to Be True, was just so prescient, right? Decently before it kind of entered general pop culture space, but the fact that it's the Bitcoin like logo on the coin too, it's like, yo, okay, somebody knew what they were doing when they put. It is nice.
I mean, the fact that like FFG Netrunner had a lot of in jokes as well, and little meta references, or just like poking fun at the game. So I know original Netrunner did that a lot on its flavor text, and some of that bled through. Like the flavor text of Curtain Wall, for example, is subroutine end the game, just kidding. But yeah, and I've tried to have that bleed through when I was the promo director, such as the flavor text on the promo indexing is literally an extract from the index of of the core set rulebook,
Right.
specifically the one about runs. So it has like the headings and then page numbers, and there are people who are like, oh, I don't get this flavor text, and then there are people who, you know, get the flavor text and are like, oh, this is really clever.
It is it's a pretty precise alchemical mix to be able to get away with cards that make that sort of in-joke and still work with the majority of the current user base, you know? You couldn't really get a Magic card unless it's like an unset or whatever that is that inside baseball and works. So yeah, cool. Nice. Oh gosh, no, it's really cool that you're able to be involved in that kind of process. As much as I enjoy card games as a general conceit, being involved at a tournament level is something that I have never previously attempted, and I don't think I have the personality for it, honestly.
That's fair. Like,
that you have to be the kind of person that either, for Netrunner specifically, you need to have a very specific kind of head for maths and card counting that I am not very good at. I would have to very dedicatedly practice to be good at that specifically, but also be like really okay with just getting your ass beat in a competitive sphere.
I mean, the person I like play against most is an ex-world champion, so I'm used to getting my ass kicked at this game.
Oh sure, I mean it's the exact same thing for fighting games though, right? I had to, because there was a period of time where I was actively practicing Guilty Gear Strive, and I was enjoying it in the process of learning, but the process of playing other people, including people who were very dear to me and I love a lot, just beating me in a way that I didn't feel like I was learning or improving, put me in such a bad headspace. I've just put fighting games just down for the foreseeable until I feel ready to go and pick it up again.
I was talking about that with fighting games, that there seems to never be like the people who play the game that keep the like Steam pop high, the people who are good at the game, but they usually beat new players so badly that no new players ever stick around.
But I think that's true with like most, like Magic is pretty lucky in that there are current and popular formats that are specifically built to resist the idea of one-on-one stomping.
Yeah, and I remember trying to get like some of my friends into Force of Will back in 2016, and some came to like the local weekly tournament, and one of them never came again because I think his second match was against someone who just like did 3/4 of his life total on turn 2, and it's like, oh, it's amazing. Like,
this feels bad to experience if you're not used to this type of play against other people.
You're a new player. Welcome to the game.
Die. Yes.
Take 5,000 damage, and it's all like, yeah, I wouldn't go back if that was my first experience of like a casual tournament.
I think one of the things I think that ends up supporting like these types of competitive yet creative communities, because the things that I like about card games and about fighting games or whatever is the kind of creative expression side of things, right? And that you can have, there can be variable opportunities to express that depending on the setting or the people that you're playing against. And finding those wheelhouses where that's feasible, I think, is really important to getting new people interested in a space. So yeah, you know, there is actually a local community, but they are people who are old heads. So I'm like, I don't know if I could. This is probably the lowest. This is probably the highest pressure version of Netrunner that I could stand to play right now.
Whilst I used to do the Netrunner circuit like before lockdown of like going to as many store championships as I could, going to at least one regional, attending nationals, attending Euros, usually as a judge, but you know, also as a player. Went to Worlds in 2019. I've played online events during the pandemic, and playing them on JNet versus paper is very different.
Very different.
But also, like, I don't know, just I like the game, but I just think the fire for the competitive circuit has left a bit.
I mean, it's a difficult thing to maintain, being able to have an actual when it's run entirely by independents, right? Even though there is something like, because like this makes me think of like the Melee community a little bit, right? Where their tournaments and stuff are organized entirely off their own backs because Nintendo kind of specifically can't do it.
Yeah.
and how they managed to get that running, but they do have the advantage of just the sheer number of people who are familiar with it to be able to do so. One hopes, well, not one hopes necessarily, but one would be interested in the potential future where just after the kind of like Magic 30th $1,000 for proxies debacle, and like Hasbro as a stakeholder is like, you know what, Magic's done. This is no longer financially viable for us. I would be fascinated. It would never happen, not possible. But I'd be fascinated to kind of see, with that kind of like level of entrenched players in the same way that people were playing Melee for like forever, and then when the training wheels were just let loose and they were like, yeah, just do your own thing without anybody giving official support anymore. What Magic would be like with no official support, what the null signal of like Commander deck building would be, you know. People making like pseudo-official but incredibly jank cards because we're still finding our feet in that space. That'd be very, very funny to me. Very fascinating.
I don't know. Hasbro seemed like they really want to kill Magic because
yes,
like when I played, we'd get 3 sets, maybe 4 a year, depending if like a core set or something like Cold Snap came out. And whilst I don't keep up with it like I used to, I'm still in a lot of Facebook groups for Magic, and
you just hear about what's going on, yeah.
And it's like I'm getting spoilers for the set after the one that's still being spoiled because they're releasing like 8 sets a year. And then there was that whole
really
debacle where they sold like $999 booster packs that could have some Power 9 in that aren't legal in anything.
Pay $1,000 for proxies. Wild. It's strange that this is going entirely off topic, but I'm happy to go and chat before we move into other stuff. It's cool. But like, it's almost a shame because the recent sets that they have been doing thematically have been genuinely really interesting to me and more of a draw than some of the previous kind of like eras of Magic the Gathering. Kamigawa Neon Dynasty is a home run in every sense. Like the card design was sick, the kind of art direction was sick. This is just they did such a good job. But if that was released in like even 2017, there would have been like a part 2.
Yeah,
but it's just gone. It's just gone now. New Capenna, art direction of that, its ideas and the kind of like themings of it as a space, phenomenal. They introduced some really cool ideas for those for those color identities that are built upon, you know, what those color identities did in years prior, and now they do something fresh and different, and it's really cool. It's gone now. We don't know if we're ever going to return to that or if they even care.
The best thing I mean, they took like, what, 12 years before they went back to Kamigawa?
It took some time to cook.
So, yeah, one of the best things for me with New Capenna is the fact that they got Ross Kemp to do one of the commercials for the set.
Yeah, that fits so well there. They commissioned a fucking Hatsune Miku song for the Neon Dynasty set. So they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing in terms of making these new sets genuinely really interesting, but they just make too many.
Oh, yeah.
Too many. Anyway, I need to go and stretch and cry a little after my horrendous defeat. And
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. This was a predestined outcome. But when we next return in about 5 minutes or so, we will be playing some Marvel Midnight Suns, and we'll see how it runs on this computer. See you all in 5.
Cool. Thank you for having me, and bye, chat.
Peace, y'all.